Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Today we present you 9 most forgotten instances of wrestlers refusing to lose a match. Number 9. Hulk Hogan refuses to let Mr. Perfect win the Royal Rumble. This Hulk Hogan story tends to get ignored in comparison to other instances of Hulk Hogan refusing to lose, more on that later, but it's pretty much no less painful. It seems that WWE decided in early 1990 that Mr. Perfect was going to be their next big heel. As such, they wanted him to win the Royal Rumble and cement his status as such. According to a very popular theory, those plans were changed when Hulk Hogan convinced Vince McMahon to change his plans on the day of the Royal Rumble itself. Mr. Perfect ended up being one of the final 2 competitors in the 1990 Royal Rumble alongside Hulk Hogan. Hennig lost, and apparently Hogan never even entertained the idea of losing to him, despite Hennig's immense popularity at the time. Mind you, Hulk Hogan was the WWE champion at this time and had nothing to gain from winning the Rumble. Number 8. Honky Tonk Man won't drop the Intercontinental title to Randy Savage. Honky Tonk Man's rise to fame in WWE in one of the strangest stories in the history of the company. He was essentially given the Intercontinental Championship because WWE needed Ricky Steamboat to lose to a heel. He was then supposed to drop it to Jake Roberts, but Roberts failed a drug test. As such, he was allowed to keep the belt for a record-long run. Some say that Honky's Intercontinental title run only happened because he flat-out refused to lose to Macho Man Randy Savage. Some say it was because he was greedy, but Honky Tonk claims that he just didn't feel the move was right, and that Macho Man was better suited for the WWE Championship. Of course, he recognized that losing at that time would have drastically impacted his non-contracted WWE deal. Number 7. Alundra Blaze doesn't want to lose to anyone. Getting a champion to drop a belt can be tricky. The belt may be a prop, but it usually comes with more money and more storyline opportunities. On a few rare occasions, champions decided to leave the company rather than lose their title. This is a twist on such an incident. When Alundra Blaze decided to leave after winning the WWE Women's Championship for the 3rd time, Vince McMahon asked her to vacate the belt. However, Alundra saw no reason to just surrender the belt she held or arrange to lose it in some final match. Instead, she took it to WCW with her and infamously threw it in the trash upon her debut. Blaze was blacklisted for years over the incident, but WWE eventually forgave her. Number 6. Bob Backlund won't lose to Hulk Hogan because Hogan can't wrestle. Here's another case of a wrestler that requested to drop his belt to a transitional champion. See, WWE recognized that Hulk Hogan was going to be their next big star. The only problem was that Bob Backlund was currently holding the title. Backlund, who was a legitimately talented amateur wrestler, refused to drop the belt to a guy like Hogan who had very little real wrestling talent to speak of. Vince McMahon decided that Backlund should instead drop the belt to the Iron Sheik. Not only was Sheik a heel, but he was also a talented amateur wrestler. Even though that wasn't WWE's first plan, it actually turned out to be the far better option. Fans hated Iron Sheik and were glad to see Hogan crush him for the title. Number 5. Roddy Piper saw no reason for Hulk Hogan to beat him cleanly. Not many people had the luxury of refusing to lose to Hulk Hogan. It was considered an honor just to be booked against the guy during his prime. Roddy Piper was different, however. Piper made a name for himself outside of WWE and came into the company as a star in his own right. He was also an old-school guy who felt that losing would seriously damage the value of his character. During his feud with Hulk Hogan, he made sure he only lost by countout or DQ, and Hogan stated that if Piper had just jobbed cleanly once, Vince would have given him a run with the belt. In 1986, WrestleMania 2 was a huge event from 3 different cities and an overabundance of celebrities and gimmick matches. In New York, Piper was to face Mr. T in a boxing match, T still at the height of his fame. The plan was for him to knock out Piper and come out a clear winner. There was only one problem though. Piper was no fan of T, who he saw as an unprofessional jerk who had no business being in a ring. Thus, he utterly refused to job to him in any way. It kept on going and so finally changed to Piper slamming T to be disqualified but not knocked out. It wasn't until 1992 that Piper finally allowed a clean loss in WWE to Bret Hart, showing Hot Rod always had an ego. Number 4. Triple H pushes Rob Van Dam further and further down the card. Rob Van Dam was one of those ECW guys who probably could have jumped to WCW or WWE whenever he wanted. Actually, that was the entire basis of his character. He constantly said he was too good for ECW and teased going to another company. When RVD actually appeared in WWE in 2001, many felt he was due for a big push. However, that was before he ran into Triple H. See, at that time, Triple H was in the midst of his infamous Reign of Terror. This was the 2 to 3 year period when Triple H just refused to lose to pretty much anyone. A guy as popular as RVD probably would have been a good candidate to beat him during this time, but Triple H never found a reason to let RVD get the win. Number 3. Rey Mysterio doesn't let Dolph Ziggler win the Intercontinental Championship. In 2009, the once revered Intercontinental title had become almost forgettable. Quickie title changes combined with less than deserving workers ended up lowering the belt's value. When Rey Mysterio won it, he planned to try to make it more meaningful to help the title regain some of its past luster. He and Chris Jericho had a good feud for the title that made it a bit more important, and Mysterio wanted to continue that. The plan was for him to drop the belt to Dolph Ziggler with little build, but Mysterio didn't want to just job the belt out. Instead, he wanted to make it mean something with a much longer reign. Thus, not only did he go over Ziggler, but he did so at back-to-back pay-per-views. Mysterio would eventually lose it to John Morrison, and while it didn't do as much to help the IC title, at least Rey gave it a good try. Number 2. Sable refuses to lose to Luna twice in 2 years. In 1998, WWE began to revive interest in women's wrestling. However, it was more on the look of the ladies, as shown by Sable. The Knockout Blonde was getting a huge push with her fame, her looks, a Playboy spread, and more. While looking great, she was hardly a fine worker, and thus WWE wanted her to drop the belt at the 1999 Royal Rumble to Luna Vachon. As a member of that legendary family, Luna was a great worker and a terrific star and more than deserved the title. However, Sable utterly refused to do it, their strap match lasting less than 5 minutes with Sable keeping the belt. Rena Mero has expressed regret as at the time she was listening to the wrong people and letting her ego get out of control. It's just a shame that a worker as great as Luna never got the title she deserved. Number 1. Chyna vacates the belt instead of losing to Lita. Here's a little Chyna doubleheader for you. This may sound strange, but Chyna didn't actually win the Women's Championship until 2001. Until then, she mostly competed against male wrestlers. Now, it might have made sense for Chyna to enjoy a long title run, but WWE felt they needed to put over other female wrestlers for Chyna to work with. As such, they asked her to drop the belt to Lita. Chyna, who must be said had a bit of an ego problem back in the day, didn't wish to lose to Lita and flat out refused to do so. Remarkably, WWE let her beat Lita at a pay-per-view and then had her vacate the belt. Why? Well, it was honestly the least awkward option available. Well guys, that's our list. If you can think of any other forgotten instances of wrestlers refusing to lose a match, please drop them in the comment below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, Disastrous Attempts Made by Wrestling Promotions to Recreate Famous Stables. Also check out our other high-rated videos in the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this, and the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and as always, thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to the SlatRock Wrestling Channel. We're big wrestling fans, and if you like wrestling too, you're in the right place. Our channel contains passionately produced wrestling-related videos. Our subject matter experts have been producing amazing facts from the world of professional wrestling thanks to their world of experience. We're proud to say that we've been producing videos of great visual experience thanks to our high-level designers and audio talent. To check some of our high-rated videos, please visit SlatRock Wrestling on YouTube. Click here to subscribe to our channel, or simply type SlatRock Wrestling in the YouTube search bar. Once you're in the channel, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post any video. You can follow us at SlatRock on Twitter. Once again, welcome to SlatRock Wrestling.